Hello and welcome to the second part of our ZBrush Core Mini tutorial on how to build an alien's head.
And hopefully you've had time to build your head and shoulder shape now when you're ready to start to add some facial features. There's different ways to do this and some really nice tools that come with ZBrush Core Mini that can help you do it quickly and easily. But before we get into some of those kind of shortcut methods, let's look at how we can actually create some facial features ourselves with just some of the standard modeling options and tools. So starting with the standard, which is the top left of the modeling tool options in the left hand side of your screen there, and we're going to set the brush size fairly small. I've got ours on about close to 60, yeah, 5960, and the intensity fairly low. We're down at about 20 at the moment. So zooming in will make this much easier. So don't forget you've got the navigation tools on the right, where you can right click. When you hold down the control key, that will let you zoom in to the model, and then just to be able to move around to get to the piece of the model you want to, hold down the Alt key and right click, and let you drag that around the screen. So again, really useful and necessary navigation options. We're still having the symmetry tool on to begin with, but we might need to turn it off at certain times while we're modelling some of the facial features. So I'm going to start off by creating the kind of brown nose of our creature here by just using, again, the standard tool and just drawing across to create that kind of stand out brown and straight down the centre what will become its nose. So I've kind of created a T shape there. We turn it a little bit now because having that angle will help us create the profile of the nose that we want. We can just go up and down that as much as we want. Again, don't forget it's an alien. It doesn't matter too much how it turns out, but we'll go for fairly human-like features here. Build up the tip and up and down to sort of fill in those gaps. Rotate if you need to get to a little bit so you can add in where you want to. Just keep the mouse moving as you do that. And don't forget you've got undo if it goes wrong. At any time you can use the shift key to smooth that out. So if it's just a little bit too bumpy, you see some of those lumps going away there, just smooth it out. Then again, just return to adding clay where you need to. And with this standard tool, you've also got an option, an inverse operation, that will, instead of adding clay, it will push into the clay. If you hold down the Alt key while you left click, will do that, so you can create nostrils, that kind of thing. And to push into the clay. Smooth that one more time, the bridge of the nose, and the less lumpy. Okay, well, quite happy with the nose there, and that leads straight up into the brow. So next we'll add the eyes, and we're going to do that by first creating an eye socket that the eyeball will sit inside. That's how our eyes are designed. So again, holding down the Alt key, still using the standard tool, that's going to let me push down into that area and create quite a big, wide hollow. I have my alien with quite large eyes. And by creating that brown nose first, it really gives us that space that we can easily fit that into already. That's looking fairly realistic. Then inside those hollows we're going to create the eyeball just by, again, still on the standard tool here, just a few clicks, a little bit of movement should start to bring up the eyeball. Don't make it stick out too much. Your eyeball is actually fairly level with the kind of front of your face, so it shouldn't really protrude too much, unless you really want it to as an alien. But you can see if I turn the model out, it's just slightly risen above the surface there. Now, staying on the same tool, I'm going to just make the brush quite a bit smaller and get in even closer for this next bit. So get into position, and I'm going to create the eyelids that will kind of go over the top of the eyeball. So even smaller than that. So I'm just going to start in this corner and draw a line that just overlaps the corner of where the eyeball is. Do the same underneath that. To give it the idea that it's the eyeballs behind that area. And you can do that however you like. You can leave it quite protruding like that if you want that to be a feature of your alien, or if you want to again sort of blend those together to smooth it out. Not less of a crease there. Just hold down the shift key one more time and begin to smooth away at that. A larger brush seems to do it faster, but you have to be very careful which bit you end up smoothing there. So I'm just getting the very edge of my circle. If you feel you need to accentuate any of those lines a bit more, I've got the slash tool, which is for creating kind of creases and lines kind of into your clay. So you can use that to just edge things, like so. Quite happy with that. So let's just zoom out and I'll take a look at how it's looking so far. If you have a go at those methods and find them too difficult, the shortcut option you've got is to use some of the chisel options that ZBrush Core Mini provides us, which will let you drop facial features onto your character with a pre-designed almost. So we'll just clear away the work we were doing there to show you an example of how you could use those. I would urge you to have to go yourself first before you kind of turn to this, but it's there at the back of the movement. So within these different sections, you've got facial features and some strange animal parts really that you can add to your different models. A lot of them are designed to be kind of a fantasy creatures, so some unusual eyes, nostrils, mouths, things like that. Have a look through all the sections because each one has got a different set of options. We've got pig noses there, more human-like noses, and some really strange eyes and things like that. Unusual shaped ears also. So let's start with some eyes that look a bit more unusual. Let's take this one, eye number 1. And again, I'm keeping the symmetry tool on here so that I'll repeat it on both sides. The red dot is showing you where it's going to appear. And you just click, drag, and rotate it out until you're happy with the size, shape, and position. So just keep moving your mouse very slowly, left, right, up, down, until you're happy with where they are and how they're going to be. I'm just going to let them go, that's unusual. If you get any kind of message like this, just OK those away. If it asks you to reduce the mesh size, that's OK as well. Just click reduce. That's just the model getting more complex. And in the top left, it will just be kind of saving, reanalyzing the model. And that often happens as you start to add some of these body parts from the chisel selection. But just wait for the percentage bar to work its way up to 100, and you should be able to carry on modeling it straight away. There we go. Okay, so the eyes are on. Let's have a look for a nose of some kind. I'm going to go a bit more normal with its nose. Let's take one of these first options here, nose 3. And because I don't want 2 noses to appear, I'm going to turn off the symmetry of this and just put it central to where those eyes are, a bit down from there. I've got stretching that one out again, just click, drag, keep your finger on the button. And look a bit smaller than that. Again, it's asking me to reduce the mesh size because that is a new feature there. That's fine, but let's do that one more time. So you can do that with any of the facial features, but they're there as a backup. Remember, have a look at creating your own before you turn to those options, because you can create great things using the standard tools. Okay, stop the video now. Have a look creating your own eyes and nose for your creature.